Have you ever wondered about the mysterious powers of salt, not just as a kitchen staple but as a spiritual tool? The ancient Buddhist tradition of placing salt in your shoes is more than a simple custom. It's a profound practice that has been passed down through generations. In this video, we'll uncover the deep spiritual significance of this practice, revealing 5 powerful reasons why this age-old wisdom could enrich your life in ways you never imagined. Stay with us until the end. You won't want to miss the insights that could transform your understanding of this humble mineral forever. Before we begin, I would greatly appreciate your support. If you enjoy this video, please like it to help me continue spreading the teachings of Buddhism. If you still need to subscribe, I highly recommend doing so and activating the notification bell to ensure you get all future videos. If you find the topic of this video interesting, please comment with the number 1. If not, comment with a 0 so I can improve and create content that better suits your interests. Now, let's get started. Have you ever encountered the age-old Buddhist custom of placing salt in your shoes? This intriguing practice, deeply embedded in the rich tapestry of Buddhist wisdom and the ancient healing arts of the East, serves a purpose far more profound than you might imagine. Salt, revered not just for its culinary applications, has been a trusted companion in our homes, passed down through the generations. The advice of our elders has long praised its versatility, and modern science has begun to reveal its true nature. Salt, contrary to popular belief, is not the primary culprit behind high blood pressure. Its virtues extend far beyond the kitchen. Salt is not merely a seasoning, it is a potent force of nature, a silent guardian in our homes. From its ability to cleanse and purify our living spaces, eradicating unseen impurities, to its role as a natural disinfectant, it is a healer in the truest sense. It soothes wounds, scrubs away dead skin, fights dandruff, and transforms an ordinary bath into a rejuvenating ritual. Yet, the deeper spiritual and medicinal significance of salt in the Buddhist tradition often goes unnoticed. For Buddhists, slipping salt into their shoes is not just a mundane act, but a sacred ritual imbued with layers of meaning that resonate with their spiritual journey. In the Zen story that we are about to unfold, you will discover 5 profound reasons why this practice could enrich your life in ways you never imagined. As you listen, prepare to be captivated by the revelations that will follow, insights that might just change the way you view this humble mineral forever. And before we dive into this wisdom, if you're new to our community, be sure to subscribe and activate notifications so you won't miss out on our latest explorations into the mysteries of life. Nestled in a serene valley, embraced by the ancient mystical presence of the Japanese mountains, there stood a time-honored Buddhist monastery, a sanctuary where the echoes of centuries-old wisdom whispered through the air. This was a place where weary souls found solace, and where the wise, aged monk, Makoto, resided. His deep understanding of Buddhism and Oriental medicine was like a beacon of light in the darkness, guiding seekers on their path to enlightenment. One tranquil morning, as the first light of dawn kissed the earth, illuminating the world in a golden hue, Makoto gathered his disciples in the monastery's peaceful courtyard. With the sun's rays filtering gently through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the ground, he invited them to sit around him. His face, a picture of serenity, reflected the calm of the morning as he began to speak. His voice, warm and filled with the quiet assurance of a life lived in wisdom, drew his listeners into a circle of shared understanding, preparing them to receive the lessons of the day. Every step we take on the path of life is a sacred journey, the monk began, his voice carrying the weight of timeless wisdom. This path, winding and often treacherous, is not just a route to knowledge of ourselves, but also a bridge to understanding the vast universe that cradles us. Just as a traveler preparing for a long and arduous journey must equip themselves with the necessary provisions, so too must we arm ourselves with the right tools and mindset to navigate the challenges that life inevitably presents. The disciples sat in rapt attention, their spirits lifted by the profound resonance of their master's teachings. When Makoto spoke of the ancient custom of placing salt in one's shoes, a practice shrouded in both mystery and reverence, their curiosity was piqued, and their minds opened to the deeper layers of this seemingly simple tradition. This practice, Makoto continued, his tone reverent, dates back to a time when our ancestors roamed untamed and unforgiving lands. In those bygone days, salt was not merely a seasoning to enhance the flavor of food. It was a sacred substance, a symbol of purity, preservation, and protection, a treasure as valued as gold. Makoto paused, allowing his words to sink in like the gentle fall of sand through an hourglass. The silence was filled with a quiet anticipation of his disciples, who eagerly awaited the continuation of their master's lesson. When he resumed speaking, his voice was imbued with the gravity of the knowledge he was about to impart. I will now share with you the 5 profound reasons why this ancient practice of placing salt in your shoes is of immense significance, not just for our spiritual journey but for our overall well-being. Firstly, Makoto began, salt possesses the remarkable ability to absorb moisture, just as the Buddha absorbed the suffering of all beings. When we place salt in our shoes, it serves a dual purpose. Physically, it keeps our steps light and free from the dampness that can weigh us down. Spiritually, it represents our intent to shed the burdens of worldly worries and suffering. In Buddhist thought, moisture often symbolizes the heaviness of the mind's troubles, the sorrows, anxieties, and doubts that can mire us in stagnation, much like waterlogged shoes can hinder our physical movement. By placing salt in our shoes, we make a symbolic gesture to release these burdens, to walk with a lighter heart, and to remain nimble in spirit despite the hardships we may encounter. Salt, in this context, acts as a purifier, absorbing the weight of our worries and allowing us to tread the path of life with grace and ease. To deepen this understanding, Makoto recounted a tale of an old fisherman, a man weathered by the storms of life, who once found himself battling the fiercest tempest he had ever faced. As the waves threatened to engulf his boat, he remembered the bag of salt he had carried with him for good luck. In a desperate act, he scattered the salt across the deck, and miraculously, the salt absorbed the water that had begun to flood his boat, keeping it afloat and guiding him safely back to shore. This simple yet powerful act was a testament to the enduring strength and protection that salt provides, both in the physical and spiritual realms. Makoto's disciples listened with wide eyes and open hearts, the story of the fisherman serving as a vivid illustration of the lesson at hand. The monk's words were not just teachings. They were an invitation to embrace the deeper meanings embedded in their everyday actions, to recognize the sacred in the mundane, and to carry these lessons with them as they journeyed forward on their own paths toward enlightenment. The second reason to place salt in your shoes, Makoto spoke with a deep and resonant voice, is rooted in the ancient belief that salt possesses powerful purifying properties. Salt is not merely a mineral. It is a sacred substance that absorbs and neutralizes impurities, clearing the path ahead of us. By purging our path of harmful influences and spiritual obstacles, salt acts as a guardian of our journey. When we put salt in our shoes, we are taking a deliberate step to shield our minds and spirits from the deceit and temptations that lurk in the world around us. To bring this concept to life, the wise monk shared a tale that had been passed down through generations, a tale of a weary traveler who, during his arduous journey, came across a river teeming with malevolent spirits. These dark forces sought to ensnare his soul and lead him astray. But the traveler, wise beyond his years, had placed salt in his shoes before setting out. As he stepped into the river's treacherous waters, the salt absorbed the evil energy, protecting him and allowing him to cross unscathed. His mind and spirit remained pure, untouched by the darkness that had sought to consume him. Makoto let the story sink in before he continued. The third reason for this sacred practice is that salt aids us in maintaining balance. Much like the towering mountains that cradle our monastery symbolize unwavering stability and enduring strength. Placing salt in our shoes helps us ground ourselves, anchoring us firmly to the earth. It gives us the strength to remain steadfast in the face of life's inevitable storms. He gestured toward the majestic peaks that surrounded the monastery, their rugged beauty a constant reminder of nature's resilience. These mountains, Makoto said, his voice filled with reverence, stand tall and unyielding, even when the fiercest tempests rage against them. They are a powerful symbol of the inner stability we must cultivate within ourselves. Just as the mountains remain rooted in the earth, we too must learn to find our balance, to stay grounded and steady as we navigate the challenges of life. Placing salt in your shoes is a symbolic act, a way of anchoring your steps and preventing the missteps that could lead to falls along your path. When we walk with salt in our shoes, he continued, his words imbued with the wisdom of the ages, we feel a profound connection to the earth beneath us, as if we are drawing strength from the very ground we tread upon. This sense of balance permeates not just our physical being but also our mind and spirit. Following this practice is an invitation to seek equilibrium in all aspects of life, between work and rest, action and reflection, joy and sorrow, good and evil. When we find this balance, we are better equipped to face the trials of life with serenity and determination, unshaken by the turbulence that life may bring our way. To further illustrate the importance of balance, Makoto shared the story of a young monk who, during a stormy period of his life, struggled to find peace. The monk would sit by the side of a raging mountain stream, its waters turbulent and chaotic, much like his own thoughts. But one day, remembering his master's teachings, he brought salt with him to his meditation spot. He placed it in his shoes and sat down to meditate. Despite the storm raging around him, the salt anchored him, allowing him to find perfect balance within himself. His mind became as calm and steady as the ancient mountains that surrounded him, untouched by the chaos of the outside world. As the disciples became increasingly absorbed in the wisdom of their spiritual guide, Makoto continued with the fourth reason, his voice steady and filled with compassion. Salt, my dear disciples, is not just a mere substance, it possesses profound healing properties. In the ancient practice of Oriental medicine, salt is revered as a natural remedy capable of alleviating pain and tension. When we place salt in our shoes, we are not just seeking comfort for our physical ailments but also solace for the mental and emotional burdens that weigh us down on our spiritual journey. To illustrate this point, Makoto recounted the story of a humble farmer who had once suffered greatly from an open wound on his foot. Despite trying various treatments, the pain persisted, until one day, he immersed his foot in a saline solution. The salt, with its innate healing powers, began to soothe the wound, relieving the farmer not just of his physical pain but also of the anxiety and frustration that had plagued him. This simple yet powerful act demonstrated how salt could be a balm for both body and soul. Makoto then moved on to the fifth reason, his tone taking on a note of deep reverence. Placing salt in your shoes is also an act of gratitude. Salt is a precious gift from the earth, a treasure that reminds us of the abundance life offers. By using it with mindfulness, we are reminded to be thankful for everything life gives us, the joys, the sorrows, the challenges, and the triumphs. This small gesture of putting salt in our shoes becomes a daily practice of acknowledging and appreciating the gifts of the earth, encouraging us to live with a heart full of gratitude. The disciples listened intently, their hearts swelling with respect and admiration for their master's teachings. But Makoto wasn't finished yet. With a gentle yet penetrating gaze, he looked each of his disciples in the eyes, adding, "My dear ones, there is a reason linked to this practice that I have saved for last, due to its profound significance. Placing salt in your shoes is more than a ritual for protection and purification. It is a sacred rite of passage that binds us to the generations that came before us. Every grain of salt holds the essence of those who walked this earth before us, their stories, their struggles, their victories. When we put salt in our shoes, we are not merely performing an ancient practice. We are connecting ourselves to a timeless lineage of wisdom and resilience. In each step we take, we carry forward their spirit, their strength, and their enduring legacy." Faced with this powerful revelation, the disciples found themselves in a moment of speechless reflection. They realized that for Makoto, placing salt in one's shoes was far more than a simple tradition. It was a profound connection to the collective soul of humanity, a way to honor the lives and experiences of all who had walked before them. Makoto's teachings had opened their eyes to the depth of what they had once considered a simple gesture. The disciples understood that salt in their shoes was not just about protection or purification. It was about embracing a connection to the past and allowing that connection to guide them into the future. As Makoto's words echoed in their hearts, a sense of deep reverence settled over them. They knew they had been given a gift, a new understanding of a tradition that transcended time, one that connected them to the very essence of life itself. But as the disciples basked in this newfound wisdom, Makoto posed a question that took them by surprise. shifting the tone to something more personal yet equally profound. Have you ever found yourself pondering the way you sleep? Some people prefer to sleep on their stomachs, others on their right or left sides. Some curl up in the fetal position, while others lie flat on their backs. Then there are those who love to wrap themselves in cozy pajamas, while others prefer the freedom of sleeping without them. Some need blankets for warmth, while others long to sleep unencumbered. But how many of you have truly considered the impact of these choices? He paused, letting the question linger before continuing. If you've never thought much about your sleeping position, you're in for a revelation. In the Zen story that follows, you'll discover the surprising effects of sleeping on your left side, a simple choice that could have profound implications for your well-being. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to learn will take your breath away and might just make you rethink everything you know about the way you sleep. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. In the tranquil sanctuary of a secluded Buddhist monastery nestled amidst the towering mountains of Japan, the air was thick with the fragrance of blooming flowers and the calming presence of ancient wisdom. On this serene evening, as the full moon bathed the gardens in a soft, ethereal glow, the elderly and revered monk Shinzo gathered his devoted disciples in the main hall for a special session. The hall, illuminated by the gentle light of the moon, became a sacred space where the profound truths about the art of sleeping were about to be unveiled. Shinzo, seated gracefully on a tatami mat, began to speak in a voice that flowed like a gentle stream, each word a caress to the eager minds that hung on his every syllable. Tonight, my dear disciples, Shinzo began, his voice a calm and soothing melody, we will explore a practice that has been cherished and revered by Buddhist monks for centuries, the simple yet profound act of sleeping on your left side. You may wonder why this specific posture holds such significance, and tonight, you shall uncover the deep connections between this practice, the health of your body, and the awakening of your spirit. By the end of this evening, you will understand why left-sided sleep is not just a habit but a pathway to physical well-being and spiritual enlightenment. As the disciples leaned in, captivated by the promise of new wisdom, Shinzo continued his discourse. In the ancient traditions of the East, the harmony between body, mind, and spirit is fundamental to achieving balance and wisdom. Sleeping on the left side has long been recognized as a practice rooted in this understanding. It is not a choice made at random, but one that reflects a deep comprehension of the physiological and spiritual principles that govern our lives. The first gift of sleeping on the left side, the monk explained, his voice imbued with the authority of centuries of tradition, is its ability to enhance lymphatic drainage. Our lymphatic system is like a river that flows through our body, carrying with it the nutrients and toxins that must be properly managed. The left side of our body plays a crucial role as the guardian of this vital flow, ensuring that our body efficiently removes toxins, much like a river carries away the debris of fallen leaves. By sleeping on our left side, we create a clear and open path for this vital process, allowing our bodies to cleanse themselves naturally and effectively. With a gentle smile, Shinzo gazed at his disciples, his eyes twinkling with the joy of sharing this ancient wisdom. The second gift, he continued, is the harmony it brings to our stomach and pancreas, which I liken to the sacred deities of our internal temple. When we rest on our left side, we provide these organs with the ideal environment to perform their delicate dance. The gastric juices and enzymes flow with the grace of dancers in a theater, preparing our bodies for the renewal that comes with each new day. Sleeping in this position is not merely a physical act, it is a silent celebration of the intricate processes that sustain our lives. The monk's words, rich with imagery, drew the disciples deeper into the narrative. He then spoke of the third gift, the nightly purification ritual. When we sleep on our left side, Shinzo explained, we facilitate the flow of digestive waste through our intestines, much like a stream nourishes the earth it flows through. This position allows our bodies to efficiently process the nutrients we consume, ensuring that by morning, we are ready for the natural elimination of waste, a daily act of rebirth and renewal. The soft light in the room seemed to brighten as Shinzo spoke of the fourth gift, the love and care we show to our heart. Our heart is the ruler of our body, he said with a serene smile. By sleeping on our left side, we create the perfect environment for the heart's labor. The aorta, the heart's most powerful vessel, curves gracefully to the left, like a traveler crossing a bridge. When we rest in this position, we ease the heart's burden, allowing blood to flow more freely and harmoniously throughout our body. Rising slightly from his seated position, Shinzo's movements were as fluid as his words. Now, let us speak of the fifth gift, the blessing we bestow upon our spleen. This often overlooked organ, the vigilant custodian of our life force, finds its peace when we rest on our left side. The bodily fluids that flow toward the spleen are like pilgrims on a sacred journey, bringing nourishment and vitality to this sanctuary within us. The monk paused, allowing his words to settle in the minds of his disciples before posing a reflective question. "How have you slept until today?" he asked gently. Consider this and share your thoughts in the comments. If you find this wisdom enriching, do not hesitate to leave a like and share it with others. Your support helps us continue to create content that nurtures your spiritual growth. With a deep, contemplative gaze, Shinzo introduced the sixth gift, wrapping it in a poetic embrace. Sleeping on the left side, he said, his voice soft and rhythmic, is an act of aligning with the forces of nature. Gravity, that silent master, guides our bodies as we sleep, ensuring that the pathways for lymphatic drainage remain unobstructed. It is as if gravity itself becomes our guardian, gently assisting our body in its nightly ritual of purification and renewal. As the moon continued to shine its light upon the monastery, Shinzo's teachings left a lasting impression on his disciples. They understood that the practice of sleeping on the left side was far more than a simple posture. It was a sacred ritual, a connection to the natural forces of the earth, and a path to holistic health and spiritual awakening. In resting on the left side, the master continued, his voice carrying a gentle wisdom that resonated with the hearts of his disciples, we discover a profound balance between the body and the mind. This way of sleeping is far more than a mere comfort to our internal organs and our physical form. It is a practice deeply rooted in ancient Oriental wisdom, which teaches us that this posture enriches not only our physical health but also our connection with both the internal and external realms. In this position, we pay true homage to life itself, a life that unveils its mysteries through the dreams and quiet moments found on the left side. Thus, sleeping in this manner becomes more than just a physical rest. It is an opportunity for a profound inner and spiritual awakening. While the world slumbers in deep rest, we, as practitioners of conscious left-sided sleep, dive into the depths of our being. It is a sacred time when the mind, free from the constraints of daily thoughts, opens the subtle doors to universal awareness, inviting us to explore the vastness of existence. With a serene smile, Shinzo elaborated on the concept of balance between yin and yang within the practice of sleep. The left side, embodying the yin aspect, cradles us in the embrace of the night. The qi, or life force, that arises from this practice is both a gift and an offering to our inner essence, a gesture of respect for the natural harmony within us. Shinzo then shared vivid examples of how this practice had manifested in the lives of those within the monastery. He spoke of nights when monks, fully immersed in the discipline of conscious left-sided sleep, felt the energy flow through them like a tranquil river, nourishing their entire being. In this state, he said, the vital energy aligns with the rhythms of nature, creating a dance of harmony that echoes throughout the monastery, touching every aspect of our existence. The benefits of this practice, Shinzo continued, extend far beyond the physical realm, deeply touching the spiritual. It is not merely about the alignment of organs or the improvement of physical health, but about the cultivation of spiritual well-being. He shared stories of elderly monks who, through the consistent practice of left-sided sleep, had experienced enhanced flexibility and strength in their meditation. In this way, sleeping on the left side becomes an essential complement to the pursuit of enlightenment, laying a strong foundation for both the mind and body to flourish. As he spoke, Shinzo wove together stories and teachings, emphasizing the importance of bringing this awareness into everyday life. This practice is not meant to be confined to the quiet walls of the monastery, he said, his tone both gentle and firm. It is a habit that we should carry with us into our daily lives, into our homes. We must honor our bodies as the sacred temples they are, recognizing the sanctity of the night and the power it holds to restore and rejuvenate. Drawing attention to the natural sounds around them, the chirping of cicadas and the soft murmur of the nearby river, Shinzo remarked that nature itself is our greatest teacher, guiding us to align our sleep with the natural flow of the world. The left side, he said, much like a leaf swaying gently in the wind, connects us to this eternal dance, a rhythm that is as old as the earth itself. As his disciples absorbed these teachings with great interest, Shinzo introduced another significant benefit of sleeping on the left side. This position, he explained, greatly facilitates breathing, creating a harmonious synergy between the flow of air and the rhythm of the heart. When you lie on your left side, your trachea and esophagus align naturally with your spine. This alignment ensures that air passes more freely through the trachea to the lungs, promoting easier, more natural breathing. In his closing remarks, Shinzo reminded his disciples of the importance of integrating these practices into their lives with intention and mindfulness. Remember, the way we rest is not merely a reflection of our need for sleep. It is a sacred ritual, a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. By choosing to rest on your left side, you embrace a practice that nourishes your body, calms your mind, and awakens your spirit to the deeper truths of existence. Additionally, Shinzo continued, his voice steady and reassuring, the diaphragm, which is the primary muscle involved in breathing, rests just beneath the lungs. When you sleep on your left side, your diaphragm is allowed to move with greater freedom, facilitating deep, smooth, and unencumbered breathing. This not only enhances the quality of your rest, but also promotes a sense of calm and relaxation throughout the night. Furthermore, the positioning of the heart on the left side of the chest plays a crucial role. By lying on your left side, you reduce the pressure on the heart, allowing it to function with greater ease and efficiency, leading to better circulation of blood throughout your body. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Shinzo paused, allowing his disciples to absorb the significance of his words before continuing. Sleeping on your left side also has the added benefit of helping to prevent acid reflux. In this position, the stomach naturally sits lower than the esophagus, which reduces the likelihood of gastric juices traveling upward into the esophagus. This simple adjustment can make a significant difference in preventing that uncomfortable burning sensation that often accompanies acid reflux. As the disciples nodded in understanding, Shinzo added another layer to his teachings. Moreover, he explained, this sleeping position provides natural support to your spine, maintaining optimal alignment for a tension-free awakening. Have you ever noticed, the monk asked, his eyes twinkling with wisdom, that your spine has a natural S-shaped curvature? When you lie on your left side, this posture better reflects the spine's natural alignment, minimizing stress on your discs and joints. This alignment not only eases the strain on your body, but also ensures that you wake up feeling refreshed and free of tension. Remember, Shinzo urged, his voice imbued with gentle authority, that sleeping on your left side is more than just a way to improve your physical rest. It is a pathway to greater awareness and spiritual growth. Just as Buddhist monks, fully aware of the profound connection between body and mind, have long adopted the left side as their preferred sleeping position, so too should you consider embracing this practice. By doing so, you will find that both your body and your mind are more at peace, more aligned, and better prepared to face the challenges of each new day. Shinzo's words lingered in the air, resonating deeply with his disciples. But before closing, he posed a thought-provoking question that piqued their curiosity. Do you often wake up between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning? Have you ever felt a sense of unease or curiosity when this happens? In this video, through the lens of a Zen story, we will explore what it means to wake up repeatedly during these early hours. Together, we will delve into the mysteries behind these moments, uncovering how they can serve as opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Stay with us until the end, for you may discover that these nocturnal awakenings reveal far more than you ever imagined. As Shinzo's disciples pondered these new ideas, he began to weave a tale, setting the scene in an ancient Buddhist monastery high in the Tibetan mountains, where the monk Kiro was known far and wide for his vast wisdom. Kiro's teachings on awareness and compassion had drawn disciples from distant lands, all eager to learn from his profound insights. One evening, as the twilight painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, Kiro gathered his disciples in the main hall. The question that had been on their minds for some time finally found voice. Why do some people wake up most nights between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, while others do not? Are these awakenings merely coincidences, or do they carry a deeper meaning? Kiro, with a serene expression and an air of quiet authority, began to address their question, knowing that the answer would lead them on a journey of discovery, one that would illuminate the subtle connections between the physical world and the spiritual realm. "Dear disciples," Kiro began, his voice calm and soothing like the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind, "today we will delve into the mysteries of nocturnal awakenings and their profound connection to the principles of Eastern medicine and the wisdom of Buddhism. In Eastern medicine," Kiro continued, "these nighttime awakenings are not seen as random events. Instead, they are believed to be intricately linked to the body's energy meridians, each corresponding to specific organs and systems. These awakenings are viewed as subtle signs of energetic or emotional imbalances that call for our attention and care." As the disciples listened intently, Kiro explained how different times of the night corresponded to different organs and energy pathways within the body. "For instance," Kiro said, "waking up consistently between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning is associated with the lungs, which in Eastern medicine are believed to be connected to emotions of sadness and grief. Such awakenings may indicate that there are deep emotional wounds that need to be acknowledged and healed. By addressing these emotions, we can restore the natural flow of our vital energy, allowing it to circulate freely and harmoniously throughout our being." The disciples nodded in quiet reflection, considering how their own experiences of waking during the night might be linked to these teachings. One of them, unable to contain his curiosity, asked, "Master, how can we interpret these nocturnal awakenings through the lens of Buddhist wisdom?" Kiro smiled gently, appreciating the student's eagerness to deepen his understanding. "In Buddhism," he began, "every moment, whether day or night, is an opportunity to practice mindfulness and cultivate compassion. Nighttime awakenings offer us a unique and powerful window to explore the landscape of our mental and emotional states, free from the distractions that fill our waking hours." He continued, sharing stories of ancient Buddhist masters who had embraced their nighttime awakenings as opportunities for profound meditation and introspection. These masters, Kiro explained, used the quiet of the night to delve into the depths of their minds and souls, transforming what might have seemed like interruptions into moments of deep spiritual practice. The Buddha taught that waking up during the night can be seen as an invitation, a call to develop greater awareness and extend kindness towards ourselves and others. It is a sacred time, a chance to meet our experiences without judgment, allowing our inner wisdom to surface and guide us forward on our spiritual journey. As Kiro's words settled into the hearts of his disciples, they felt a growing sense of gratitude for the profound insights their master had shared. They began to see the connection between the teachings of Eastern medicine and the spiritual path of Buddhism in a new light. This union of ancient knowledge provided them with tools to better understand their own experiences and challenges. "Remember," Kiro added with a serene intensity, "that every nighttime awakening is not just a disruption but an opportunity, a precious moment for growth, learning, and connection with the deepest part of our being. Be grateful for these moments of awareness, for they are gifts, nudging us along the path to spiritual fulfillment and enlightenment." The disciples, moved by their master's wisdom, understood that their nocturnal awakenings were not mere disturbances but were instead valuable opportunities for self-discovery and spiritual progress. They left the hall that evening with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to embrace every moment, whether in the light of day or the stillness of night, as a step forward on their path to inner peace and enlightenment. Now let's delve deeper into the specific areas of life that nocturnal awakenings can affect, so that you may better understand and analyze both your own experiences and those of others, Kiro began, his voice steady and guiding. Stress and anxiety accumulated throughout the day often manifest as waking up between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. During these hours, the body naturally tends to release cortisol, the hormone closely linked to stress. When cortisol levels are already elevated due to daily worries, it becomes more likely that you will experience these nocturnal awakenings. In such cases, incorporating practices like meditation, deep breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation into your routine can be incredibly effective in reducing stress and promoting more restful sleep. My suggestion, Kiro continued, is to develop the habit of meditating for at least 10 minutes before you go to bed. This simple practice can help calm your mind, ease the tension in your body, and prepare you for a night of more peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. As we've discussed, these particular hours of waking are associated with the lungs in Chinese medicine and with the emotion of sadness in Eastern psychology. This correlation may suggest that you are dealing with repressed or unprocessed emotions, such as grief, loss, or loneliness. Confronting and accepting these emotions is crucial for achieving inner healing. Engaging in mindfulness, writing down your thoughts, or seeking therapy can be powerful tools to help you understand and integrate these emotional experiences. Kiro paused, letting the weight of his words settle over his disciples before continuing. If you have suffered from such emotional wounds, it is important to work on processing them to find inner peace and emotional balance. Remember, ignoring these feelings only allows them to fester, causing further disruptions not just in your sleep but in your overall well-being. Looking into the eyes of his disciples, Kiro resumed his lesson with a gentle but firm tone. In the Eastern spiritual tradition, the early hours of the morning, particularly between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, are considered sacred, a privileged time for connecting with the divine and for deep spiritual practice. The tranquility and silence that envelop the world during these hours create a unique environment that is particularly conducive to meditation, prayer, or profound contemplation. He added, many people find themselves waking up during these hours because their deepest self is yearning for a connection with the divine. For spiritual practitioners, this time can become a precious opportunity to experience a heightened sense of spiritual presence and awareness. It is during these quiet hours that the door to new insights and spiritual realizations often opens wide. Kiro's words resonated deeply with his disciples, who began to see their nighttime awakenings in a new, more meaningful light. These nocturnal awakenings, he continued, can also be viewed as signs of an ongoing process of inner transformation and personal growth. During these early hours, the subconscious mind is particularly active, often bringing hidden emotions, thoughts, and desires to the surface. This makes it an ideal time to explore your psyche more deeply, to identify what changes or transformations are necessary for you to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. However, Kiro also cautioned his disciples about the physical aspects that might contribute to waking during these hours. It's important to acknowledge that not all nocturnal awakenings are purely spiritual or emotional in nature. Some may be caused by physical conditions such as acid reflux, insomnia, or sleep apnea. Problems with the liver, in particular, can disrupt sleep and lead to frequent awakenings during these hours. With a thoughtful pause, he advised, Eastern medicine offers various remedies for these physical ailments, but if you suspect that a medical condition might be the cause of your nighttime awakenings, it is crucial to consult a healthcare professional. Addressing these physical issues at their root can significantly improve the quality of your sleep and, in turn, enhance your emotional and overall well-being. Kiro's comprehensive approach to nocturnal awakenings left his disciples with much to contemplate. They understood that these moments of waking in the night were not merely disturbances but could be seen as opportunities. Opportunities to heal, to grow, and to connect more deeply with both their inner selves and the world around them. As the disciples continued to listen with rapt attention, Kiro introduced another profound aspect of nocturnal awakenings. The period from 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning, he explained, is often considered a time when the unconscious mind can communicate important messages through dreams and sudden awakenings. This belief is rooted in both ancient Zen wisdom and the analytical psychology of Carl Gustav Jung. These messages may come to us in symbolic forms or intuitive flashes, offering valuable insights into our inner lives, our relationships, or the challenges we are currently facing. By keeping a dream diary or engaging in meditation before sleep, we can better capture and interpret these unconscious messages. Writing them down as soon as you wake up, while they are still fresh in your mind, provides an opportunity to reflect on them and integrate their lessons into your growth process. Kiro's words resonated deeply with the disciples, who were beginning to see these early morning hours in a new light. Another reason why some of us wake during these hours, Kiro continued, is tied to the natural rhythms of the universe. The early hours of the morning are considered a time when vital energy is most concentrated and flows more freely. Waking at this time may be a sign of alignment with these natural cycles, or perhaps an indication that you need to adapt more closely to them to promote greater health and well-being. Practices such as yoga, tai chi, or meditation can be particularly beneficial in helping to harmonize your body, mind, and spirit with the rhythms of nature. So, my dear disciples, Kiro encouraged, consider incorporating these practices into your daily routine. They can help you attune yourself to the natural cycles of the world around you, fostering a deeper sense of balance and inner peace. One of the disciples, clearly pondering over these teachings, raised a question: Master Kiro, should we be worried if we frequently wake up during these hours? Kiro smiled warmly, his eyes reflecting the depth of his understanding. My dear ones, he replied, I encourage you to view these awakenings not as a cause for concern, but as precious opportunities. They are moments that invite us to explore the depths of our mind, our spirit, and even our physical body. If an awakening points to a physical issue, it is a gentle reminder to take care of your health. If it carries a spiritual significance, it is an invitation to deepen your practice and work on your inner self. Through the wisdom of the East and the nurturing embrace of compassion, learn to welcome these moments as gifts that offer guidance and insight along the journey of life. Kiro's response left the disciples feeling reassured and inspired. They understood that these nocturnal awakenings were not disruptions to be feared, but rather opportunities to grow, learn, and connect more deeply with themselves and the world. They left the hall with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to embrace the wisdom their master had shared and to approach each awakening with curiosity, gratitude, and a spirit of exploration. Every nocturnal awakening, Kiro continued with a gentle yet profound tone, is an invitation to greater awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Rather than resisting or dismissing these moments, we should embrace them with kindness and openness, allowing them to shed light on our spiritual journey. The best approach is to create a space of calm and reflection before you go to bed, enabling your mind and body to fully unwind. Engaging in practices like meditation, deep breathing, or reading inspirational texts can set the stage for a more restful and rejuvenating sleep. And when you find yourself waking between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., consider it a golden opportunity to delve into your inner world and connect with the essence of who you truly are, Kiro advised. These awakenings can be seen as sacred moments of self-discovery and spiritual alignment. The disciples listened intently, but Kiro sensed a lingering curiosity among them. With a knowing smile, he introduced a new topic that touched on a universal experience. Have you ever felt compelled to help someone, even when they didn't explicitly ask for your assistance? How did that turn out for you? It's important to recognize that helping others uninvited can sometimes have unforeseen consequences. Have you ever wondered if your good intentions might have caused a negative ripple effect that you weren't aware of? In the Zen story that follows, we will explore why it is often wiser to refrain from helping others unless they seek your help. This wisdom, drawn from Buddhist teachings, might just change the way you view human relationships. Kiro's words hung in the air, intriguing the disciples as they considered the implications of unsolicited help. In essence, he continued, you will learn how assisting those who do not wish to be helped can lead to negative outcomes for both you and them, and you will see how such actions can impact your karma. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. In a tranquil Buddhist monastery surrounded by lush gardens and ancient, towering trees, the elderly and wise monk Noro gathered his disciples for a lesson on a subject close to all their hearts. The air was thick with curiosity as the disciples, their eyes fixed on Noro, eagerly awaited his insights. They had all experienced moments where their well-meaning attempts to help others had not turned out as they had hoped, and they longed to understand why. Life is much like a vast, flowing river, Noro began, his voice calm and measured. Each of us is like a small boat navigating this powerful current. Often, in our desire to do good, we jump into that current and try to steer other people's boats without waiting to be asked. To illustrate his point, Noro shared a story that had been passed down through the centuries, a tale that echoed the timeless wisdom of restraint and mindfulness. He recounted the story of a young monk who, eager to help a fellow monk in distress, took it upon himself to offer assistance without being asked. The young monk believed his act of kindness would bring relief and strengthen their bond. However, instead of fostering gratitude, his unsolicited help left the other monk feeling ashamed and diminished, altering the dynamic of their friendship. This unintended consequence created discord and confusion, revealing that even well-intentioned actions can lead to unexpected and undesirable outcomes. Noro's story resonated deeply with the disciples, who began to see the subtle yet powerful lesson behind it. They understood that in life, even the best of intentions can lead to harm if not approached with mindfulness and respect for others' autonomy. Noro's words served as a reminder that true compassion requires patience, discernment, and the humility to wait until help is genuinely sought. As the disciples reflected on the story, Noro concluded, "The river of life is vast and unpredictable. By learning to navigate it with care, by offering help only when it is wanted, we can avoid creating unnecessary ripples that disturb the harmony of others' lives. In doing so, we not only protect our own karma but also honor the natural flow of the universe." What we often fail to grasp, Noro explained with a calm yet penetrating voice, is that each individual is deeply entwined with their own karma, and every action we take, whether intended as good or bad, inevitably returns to us like an echo reverberating through the universe. When we step in to help without being asked, we disrupt the delicate balance of another person's karma, and in doing so, we inadvertently harm our own. To illustrate this profound truth, the old monk shared more stories with his disciples. He recounted the tale of a young man, brimming with good intentions, who eagerly tried to solve the problems of a dear friend without her asking for his help. What followed was a series of endless difficulties and misadventures, entangling both of them in a web of complications. Imagine, Noro continued, entering a labyrinth that isn't yours but someone else's, without their invitation. In doing so, you may inadvertently set off a chain reaction of events, creating a complex web of karmic connections. Your well-meaning gesture of friendship, no matter how sincere, could end up causing more harm to both your friend and yourself. Noro then posed a thought-provoking question to his disciples. Consider this. Imagine trying to cure someone without first asking if they are willing to let go of the very things that made them ill. Suffering is often the consequence of past actions, and by intervening, we risk altering the natural course of learning that the individual is meant to experience. Delving deeper into Buddhist teachings, Noro emphasized how even the Buddha himself had resisted the urge to intervene without request. The Buddha, Noro explained, recognized the sanctity of the individual learning process and the importance of respecting each being's karma. Suffering, though harsh, is a precious teacher that guides us on the path of spiritual growth. By interfering with this process, we may inadvertently rob others of the wisdom that only their own suffering can impart. Noro shared more everyday examples to help his disciples better understand this concept. He spoke of the countless moments when, witnessing a friend or family member in distress, his natural empathy had urged him to offer help. Yet, following the Buddha's teachings, he learned the value of waiting for the person to ask for help rather than imposing it upon them. Suffering, Noro reiterated, is often the result of past actions, and karma is the supreme law governing the universe. When we intervene unsolicited, we risk being pulled into a cyclical vortex that entangles us in other people's problems, with unpredictable consequences for all involved. The disciples listened intently as Noro shared more stories from daily life at the monastery, highlighting how the monks applied these teachings in their daily practice. Over the years, Noro added, I have trained dozens of monks who have grown wiser and more confident precisely because I refrained from intervening directly in their struggles. By resisting the temptation to solve their problems, I allowed them to confront their own challenges and learn the lessons that karma had prepared for them. To further clarify his point, Noro used a metaphor that resonated deeply with his disciples. Every action we take is like throwing a stone into a pond, he said. The ripples spread outwards and eventually return to us. When we help without being asked, we not only disturb the karma of others but create ripples that can have unintended consequences in our own lives. In conclusion, what can we learn from these stories, and how can they guide us? Noro asked, bringing his lesson to a close. The moral we can draw is the wisdom of discernment, knowing when to reach out and when to hold back. Karma, like a flowing river, carries our actions along with it, and the way we choose to offer help can alter the very course of destiny. Before offering help, we must reflect deeply on what the other person truly needs. Not everyone seeks advice. Sometimes, they simply need a compassionate listener or a sympathetic heart. Let us always remember to honor the sacredness of each individual's path, Noro urged. Help should never be an impulsive act, but rather a conscious, thoughtful gesture that respects the free will and the personal and spiritual growth of others, as well as our own. Life is an intricate web of lessons and opportunities for growth. When we offer help without being asked, we may unintentionally deprive others of the invaluable opportunity to learn from their own experiences. True wisdom lies in recognizing that sometimes the best lesson is learned through one's own effort and experience. With these final words, Noro left his disciples in deep reflection, understanding that the path to enlightenment requires not only compassion but also the discernment to know when to allow others to find their way through the labyrinth of life on their own. Therefore, Noro concluded with a gentle yet firm voice, let our help be like a beacon of light, offered only when requested, with full awareness and respect. Let it guide rather than impose, illuminating the path ahead without creating a chain of unforeseen events. As the disciples pondered this wisdom, Noro shifted their focus to the mysterious realm of sleep. Did you know that there are at least 9 strange events that occur while you sleep? He asked, piquing their curiosity. How many times have you found yourself suddenly waking in the middle of the night, gripped by sensations that defy explanation? During those quiet hours, when our bodies surrender to rest and our minds embark on boundless journeys through the landscapes of dreams, are these experiences merely the product of imagination, or do they lead us to deeper truths? What secrets are hidden in the night, when the soul seems to wander between invisible worlds? In the Zen story that you're about to hear, we will explore the most enigmatic spiritual events that unfold while we sleep. Stay with us until the end, so you don't miss a single revelation. Only then will you truly understand if you, too, have experienced these extraordinary occurrences. High in the remote mountains of Japan, among silent forests and winding paths, stood an ancient Buddhist temple where the wise monk Shinzo dedicated his days to teaching his followers the path to enlightenment. One evening, as the sun dipped low behind the jagged mountain peaks, casting long shadows across the temple courtyard, the disciples gathered around a crackling fire, eager to hear their master's teachings. The flickering flames reflected in their eyes, which were filled with anticipation. Finally, one disciple, his voice tinged with curiosity, broke the silence. Master Shinzo, he asked with great respect, what are these strange things that happen to us when we sleep? The old monk smiled knowingly, his eyes twinkling with the wisdom of countless nights spent contemplating the mysteries of life. He searched the faces of his disciples, seeing in their eager expressions a reflection of the same thirst for knowledge that had once driven him. The strange things that happen during sleep, he began in a calm and measured voice, are profound truths that reveal themselves only to those who are willing to listen with their hearts open. In the mysterious kingdom of the night, when the sky is adorned with stars and the moon rises as a silent guardian of sleep, the world takes on an enchanting and mysterious aura. It is during these dark hours that our bodies surrender to rest, and our minds embark on journeys without borders. Sleep thus becomes a portal to unknown dimensions, offering us the chance to explore the depths of the soul and uncover hidden truths. With a graceful gesture, Shinzo invited his disciples to draw closer, sensing their desire to delve into the mysteries of the night. As they settled in around him, the firelight casting a warm glow on their faces, he began to recount a story that would guide them through the spiritual and enigmatic nature of sleep. One night, in a remote village nestled deep in the mountains, Shinzo began, his voice steady and captivating, there lived a young monk named Kaido who experienced an extraordinary dream. The firelight flickered across Shinzo's face, highlighting the deep lines of wisdom etched into his skin as his disciples leaned in, eager to hear more. In this dream, Shinzo continued, Kaido found himself walking along a moonlit path, surrounded by an atmosphere of profound serenity and mystery. But this was no ordinary dream. It was a prophetic vision, the monk explained, his voice filled with the gravity of the revelation, a manifestation of the mind's power to transcend the ordinary and pierce through the veil of time. The disciples listened intently, enraptured by the tale and the implications it carried. Shinzo's words painted vivid images in their minds, transporting them to the quiet, moonlit paths of Kaido's dream. As Kaido walked, Shinzo continued, he felt an overwhelming sense of peace, as if he was being guided by an unseen force. The path ahead of him glowed with a soft, ethereal light, leading him toward an unknown destination. Yet, despite the mystery, there was no fear, only a deep sense of knowing that he was exactly where he needed to be. Shinzo paused, letting the weight of the story settle over his disciples. This dream, he explained, was not just a random creation of the sleeping mind. It was a glimpse into the deeper truths that lie hidden beneath the surface of our everyday consciousness. It was a reminder that, during sleep, our souls are free to explore the realms beyond the physical, to connect with the spiritual dimensions that guide our lives. The disciples sat in silent awe, the crackling of the fire the only sound as they absorbed the profound lesson. Shinzo's story had opened their eyes to the mysteries that unfolded while they slept, encouraging them to see their dreams not as mere figments of imagination, but as portals to deeper understanding. And so, my dear disciples, Shinzo concluded, remember that the night holds secrets that are revealed only to those who approach it with an open heart and a willing spirit. The strange sensations you experience during sleep are not to be feared or dismissed, but to be embraced as part of your journey toward enlightenment. Through your dreams and the mysteries of the night, you are given a unique opportunity to explore the depths of your soul and to discover the hidden truths that guide your life. As the fire slowly died down and the night deepened, the disciples remained close to their master, reflecting on the wisdom he had shared. They knew that the lessons learned that evening would stay with them, guiding them as they ventured into the unknown realms of sleep and spirituality. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Next, Shinzo continued, his voice filled with the depth of the mystical journey he was recounting. Kaido found himself crossing invisible boundaries and traversing unknown worlds, soaring beyond the confines of his physical body. This was no ordinary dream. It was a true astral journey, a profound exploration of the vastness of the universe and our inherent connection to it. The monk's eyes met those of his disciples, who were captivated by the tale of Kaido's extraordinary experience. During this ethereal voyage, Shinzo recounted, Kaido encountered the spirits of ancient masters. These wise beings, who had transcended the physical realm, offered him wisdom and guidance along his spiritual path. Communication with spirits, Shinzo stated, is more than just an otherworldly experience. It is a reflection of our deep inner search and our connection with the divine. Through these encounters, we are reminded that we are never alone on our journey. We are always supported by the wisdom of those who have walked the path before us. The disciples listened intently as Shinzo continued. In another dream, Kaido experienced profound spiritual healing. His spirit, weary from the trials of life, was rejuvenated and purified as he slept. Spiritual healing, he explained, is a sacred process of cleansing the soul, bringing us closer to true self-awareness. It is in these moments of healing that we reconnect with our innermost essence, shedding the burdens that weigh us down and emerging renewed and enlightened. As Kaido's journey unfolded, Shinzo went on. He found himself lifted from his body, floating above it, free from the bonds of the earthly realm. This out-of-body experience served as a powerful reminder that we are far more than what our eyes can see. Our true essence extends beyond the confines of our skin, beyond the physical limitations of this world. Out-of-body experiences open our eyes to the boundless nature of our existence, showing us that our spirit is vast and interconnected with the universe. In his dream, the monk narrated, Kaido came into contact with his higher self, the most elevated aspect of his being. In this moment, he realized his deep connection to the universe and the divine order of all things. Contact with the higher self, Shinzo explained, is an experience of unity and enlightenment, revealing to us the ultimate truth of our existence, that we are all one, part of a greater whole that transcends time and space. Kaido's dreams were rich with symbols and hidden meanings, Shinzo continued, each one guiding him further along his spiritual path. Dream work, he emphasized, is a powerful tool for exploring the unconscious mind and integrating the hidden parts of our psyche. By delving into the symbols and messages within our dreams, we uncover the wisdom that lies within, helping us to grow and evolve on our spiritual journey. And finally, Shinzo said, drawing near to the conclusion of Kaido's journey, just before he awoke, Kaido experienced a sudden epiphany, a vision of the ultimate truth that illuminated his soul. In that moment, he understood many things about himself and the nature of existence. But what is hidden behind the story I've told you? Master Shinzo asked rhetorically, his eyes sparkling with the knowledge he was about to share. Let us now examine the path Kaido took during his dreams. First, I spoke of his prophetic dreams, Shinzo began, a compassionate smile softening his features. These dreams are like luminous paths that lead us toward the future, offering us glimpses of what lies ahead. Remember the time when a village elder dreamed of an impending storm and warned us in time? Such dreams provide us with invaluable insight, helping us navigate the uncertain waters of life. Before concluding the story, Shinzo addressed his disciples with warmth and encouragement. We invite you to share your own experiences. Have you ever had a dream that guided you or revealed something important? Leave a comment below with your thoughts. And if you found this story meaningful, please like and share the video so that we can continue to produce content like this every day, helping others along their spiritual journeys. With those final words, Shinzo left his disciples in a state of reflection, pondering the profound lessons woven into Kaido's journey. The story had not only illuminated the mysteries of the night, but had also deepened their understanding of the spiritual paths they themselves were walking. The disciples felt a renewed sense of purpose, ready to embrace their own dreams as guides and teachers on their way to enlightenment. Another experience that Kaido encountered during his profound dream journey, Shinzo continued, is that of astral travel. These are soul journeys that take us through the vast, boundless universe of the spirit. Imagine soaring above snow-capped mountains, feeling the crisp air on your face, and dancing among the stars, exploring realms of light and beauty beyond the tangible world we know. In these transcendent moments, our spirit breaks free from the physical confines of the body and tastes the limitless freedom of the infinite cosmos that surrounds us. Shinzo paused, allowing the imagery to settle in the minds of his disciples before continuing. In another dream, Kaido found himself communicating with the spirits of ancient and wise masters, he said, his voice calm and soothing. These communications, he explained, are like sweet melodies that gently resonate in the stillness of the night. Whenever we dream of meeting a deceased loved one or receiving a message from higher beings, it is as though the heavens themselves bend down toward us, offering solace and wisdom to guide us on our earthly journey. Spiritual healing, the monk continued with a tone of deep compassion, is another significant event that can occur during the sacred hours of sleep. It is akin to a loving embrace from the universe that envelopes our wounded spirit. As we sleep, our physical body undergoes regeneration, but so too does our soul find a profound peace within the arms of the divine. Each night, we are cradled by an unconditional love that seeks to heal our deepest wounds and restore our inner harmony. As Shinzo moved on with the lesson, he spoke about out-of-body experiences, describing them as flights of the soul into wondrous and unknown realms. During sleep, We have the ability to leave our physical forms behind and venture into spiritual places where we can encounter beings of light and receive teachings directly from celestial guides. These experiences serve as powerful reminders of our true spiritual nature and our intimate connection to the divine. Through such journeys, we can begin to heal the spiritual and emotional wounds that we carry within us, he said, his voice imbued with serenity. Contact with the higher self, Shinzo added, is like a gentle caress of the soul that steers us toward our spiritual mission. In the quiet of sleep, we draw closer to our higher self and receive clear insights and visions that illuminate our path. It is as if our spirit is reunited with the divine source from which all life originates, filling us with a profound sense of purpose and understanding. The work we do in our dreams, Shinzo continued, his voice rich with wisdom, is another experience I spoke of in Kaido's story. It is like an ongoing dialogue between us and our unconscious, revealing the hidden secrets of our soul. Through the symbols and images that our dreams present to us, we uncover deeper truths and find the courage to confront our fears and challenges with newfound awareness. Night meditation, the monk went on, is another of the profound experiences Kaido encountered. It is akin to a silent prayer that draws us closer to the divine, preparing us for a sleep filled with deep meaning and insight. By immersing ourselves in meditation before drifting off, we open our hearts and minds to the divine presence that surrounds us, allowing us to rest within a loving embrace that guides us toward enlightenment. Shinzo's eyes twinkled with wisdom as he asked, "Do you recall what happened to Kaido at the end of his dream?" The disciples nodded, eagerly awaiting his final words. "He experienced an epiphany," Shinzo concluded, his smile radiant and warm. Illuminations are like flashes of divine wisdom that pierce through the veil of ignorance. During sleep, we may encounter moments of spiritual awakening, where we glimpse the ultimate truth of existence and the boundless beauty of the universe. These transformative experiences draw us closer to the light of divine awareness, forever changing the way we perceive the world and our place within it. With these words, Shinzo left his disciples in a state of quiet reflection, understanding that the realms of sleep and dreams hold far more than mere rest. They are portals to spiritual growth, healing, and profound wisdom. The story of Kaido served as a powerful reminder that each night, as we close our eyes, we embark on journeys that can illuminate our path and deepen our connection to the divine. The experience of enlightenment, he said, is the culmination of our spiritual journey and awakening to the supreme truth, the ultimate goal of a night of deep and restorative sleep. If you found our today's video helpful, please subscribe to our channel, Buddhism Philosophy, and like the video. See you in the next one. As we journey through these ancient teachings, it's clear that something as simple as placing salt in your shoes carries deep meaning and potential to transform our lives. What have you learned from today's video? Share one thing you've discovered that you will bring into practice in your own life in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected with more wisdom that can guide you on your spiritual journey. See you in the next one.